What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York here at Aftershock Festival 2022, and this time we are here with Jared James Nichols.
What is up, brother? Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to have you here. We got to witness musical history today as you performed your new single for the first time ever, Down the Drain.
I did.
And is this new single maybe a good representation of what your continuing journey after Black Magic?
Absolutely.
And the Shadow Dancer EP.
It's really cool because that song, especially when I wrote that song, people got really excited about it, like really, really hyped up. So we were like, oh, let's get in there, let's cut it. And with all the new music that's coming out, so we have the new single, and then in January 13th, we have the new record coming out. I wanted the music to serve as a menu for my live show. I wanted it to feel real. I wanted it to feel exciting, maybe a little manic, frantic. I wanted it to feel like a live show captured really well. So Down the Drain, from a whisper to a scream, it has all the different sonics that I feel like encapsulate my music, but also it's just got a really, really great riff, a really awesome solo, and I think it feels awesome.
It definitely does. And going back to that live experience that you want to bring on your album, I'm really glad you mentioned that because, you know, recording it in the studio, first off, I do think that all of your records sound very live, whether it be the Shadow Dancer EP, Black Magic, and the album before with the very long title. And
yeah, Old Glory and the Wild Revival.
Yeah, I do apologize
No,
for
you're
that.
good.
But when it comes to, you know, trying to replicate that live energy into the studio, you know, the studio is a very confined, static environment sometimes. So how do you sort of like kind of replicate that energy? Is there a mood that you have to be in or something like that?
Absolutely. It's almost like I have to treat the studio as if it's not a studio. I have to walk in that room and not think about, oh my goodness, I'm getting recorded. I have to play perfect. I have to have this perfect sound and I have to be in the perfect headspace. It's almost like I have to walk in there as if I'm going into a live show and think about what actually matters, which is the energy, the inspiration, having the excitement be there, because I feel like when I can channel those things and I feel inspired to play, that's when I'm at my best. If the inspiration is there, the band, we're feeding off of each other, there's something different that gets captured. And the magic of having that in the studio is with a great engineer, with someone to record it really well, you just get a really quality recording, and that's kind of what we were trying for.
100%, and I think you hit the nail on the head with it. In order to get that inspiration, though, do you almost have to kind of go out looking for it in a way, or does it strike usually when you least expect it, sometimes at rather inconvenient times, right?
It can go either way, brother, because there will be times where I'll be in a horrible mood, I'll be tired, whatever, but I pick up the guitar, and it, like, speaks to me, and all of a sudden I'm just like, you know, like the guitar whispers to me, and I go, oh, okay, all of a sudden I'm getting inspired by the sound, or if we walk into a festival and the energy's high, I'll get inspired by that. But in the studio, the ways that I kind of search for my inspiration, the biggest ways is I try and think about the music that I love, the music that has inspired me the most, which in turn will really help me in the end because, you know, I'll put on my favorite records I've always loved, and I'll say, what do I love about this? And I'll really try and channel that energy. And that's where I feel like I start to get inspired.
And when it comes to, like, do you find it maybe like the longer you're working on something, the harder it is to sort of like maintain that emotion or that inspiration that usually spawned it?
That's a whole nother thing. I'm glad you brought that up. When I'm recording, if I can't nail something in 2 or 3 takes, there's something wrong. Like, I need to move away from it. Maybe I need to come back to it, because usually when inspiration strikes, it's like I want to make sure that I'm grabbing it, because sometimes it's not perfect, you know. Sometimes it's not. It's frantic. It's kind of put together weirdly, but there's something about, like I said, with that energy. So for me, it's really, really important to be off the cuff and just kind of feel it and run with it.
Is there ever a time where maybe a lyrical idea or even lyrics themselves can maybe guide your hand with regards to how the music will sound?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think it goes hand in hand because sometimes a lyric can set off my mind. You know, I wrote a song recently with a friend, and we named it Running From My Shadow, right? And I was thinking about it, and I went, okay, this is really giving me like a really dark, almost like scary, bluesy country vibe. And that really propelled me to take the guitar and make a vibe like that. So I think that it really does go hand in hand. Sometimes a lyric can spark me into a way that I'd never imagine. Or vice versa, a riff. I'll play something on the guitar and I'll be like, man, this is super high energy. This is so up here. So it'll make lyrically me push for something else.
Have you ever had the best lyrics ever, though, and they're always like one syllable over like every arrangement?
Of course. Or I'll think of something. You know what happens a lot, too? Because I love music and I listen to music all day. I'll play something and I'll go, that was awesome. And I'll go, oh, shoot, but that's like the exact version of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, I'll write a lyric and I'll be like, this is going to be perfect. And then it's like, it doesn't necessarily fit. Or, oh, no, I need to rewrite it. You know, that happens a lot.
Unfortunately, too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And do you want your music to be open to interpretation, or do you kind of try to engage the listener into the subject matter as much as the song? The lyrics are there for a reason.
Honestly, subject matter, lyrically, I want everyone to interpret it the way that they feel it. I've never been one to try and persuade a listener to feel a certain way. There's a lot of music that I listen to that a lot of people would probably say, there's no way Jared would listen to that. But lyrically, I hear the lyrics and they hit me somewhere that's not normal, right? So it's like, I never try and make my music, this is what it means, this is what it is. I love the fact that someone could listen to a song. I had a song, Nails in the Coffin, and someone said, man, this song, it means so much to me. And the guy that told me this meant so much to him was like the most hardcore biker dude you've ever met. And this song is very soulful, but it's not a heavy song. You know, it's just cool that people are able to take songs, I feel like, and make them their own.
100%. That's the famous saying, when you put a song out, it immediately becomes theirs.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Does the music, whether it be music or lyrics, does it always come from an internal source, or is there a lot of maybe observation and a lot of looking externally as sources of inspiration?
I think a lot of it for me, whether it's with writing a song, a lyric, a riff, it does come from an internal place. I've always tried to put it to myself so I could say, basically, this is the way I'm feeling, and this is the most I can really portray it in my own eyes. I never try and make someone feel a certain way or try and almost make something up that isn't real life to me. But sometimes I will hear about a story and it'll harken back something. Like I wrote that song Skin and Bone, and the song Skin and Bone that I wrote that was on my EP, that was written at like the height of like COVID, and you know, there's so many social things happening. And it was almost like it was the only thing I was hearing about, and the only way that I was able to make sense of it for myself was I started to write a song about it. And with that song, it was a very simple message. It was basically saying, no matter where you come from, no matter what you look like, deep down inside, we are all the same. We're all humans with, and we need love, compassion to grow. So I took like that song, and it was a worldly thing, and I brought that together.
And here comes the most difficult question of the whole interview. Are you ready?
Love it.
How do you know when a song is done?
Ooh, that is a hard one, because sometimes I'll have a song and I'll be tinkering with it forever. And I'll sit there and I'll go, I don't know if this is done. I don't know if this is done. What ends up happening for me when I know a song is done, there's something subliminally or subconsciously that happens where when I'm playing it, it's almost like I'm hearing the song from an outside point of view. I stop analyzing it and I just start playing it. Listen back to it a little bit. That's when I know that it's done. But it's a very hard question.
That's why I love asking it. And do you feel like also, it might be kind of a far-fetched question for the final one, but like when you're playing a live show, you got to bring stuff from the Shadow Dance EP, you got to bring some new stuff, and all your different albums. Do you think when you like play them non-chronologically, a newer song before an old one or whatever, that maybe adds another layer of meaning behind it as well, especially in a live presence?
Well, yeah, and also I think that a lot of people, they forget that certain, when an artist plays a song from maybe their back catalog, that's almost like a snapshot in time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love that. But there's certain songs that we still play that are from that first record, Old Glory and the Wild Revival. And when I'm playing them, legit, man, it like takes me back. It takes me back to like, I remember where I was when I wrote it, how I was feeling, And it's kind of cool because for me, it's like very memorable and it takes me back. But also, it shows a certain snapshot of where I was as a guitar player, as a singer, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of a cool thing in general. I like that.
Definitely. So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time today.
Of course, man.
Yeah, we got to witness musical history. Down the Drain played live for the first time ever today. Is there just anything else you would like to promote in terms of tours or new music?
Man, I'll tell you what, that Down the Drain comes out October 26th. The record comes out January 13th, and I'm so excited to just get back on the road and just keep it going, man.
Hell yeah. We look forward to seeing you as much as possible as well.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Jared, James, Nichols, new stuff coming very soon. This is Alex from Heavy New York, Aftershock 2022. Next time.
See ya.